Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a huge shift in New York State's education system. We're talking about a plan that could completely revolutionize what it means to earn a high school diploma. So, for decades, if you went to high school in New York, graduation was all about one thing: passing a series of standardized tests called the Regents exams. It's a system so many of us went through. But that's all about to change. The state is asking a really profound question. Is there a better way to measure a student's success? Okay, let's get right to the major headline, because make no mistake, this is not a minor tweak. This is the absolute centerpiece of a much, much bigger plan to redefine what a successful graduate even looks like and what skills they're going to need to thrive after they leave high school. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at exactly what's changing. Then, we'll explore why this historic shift is even happening. After that, we'll dig into the core parts of this new model, and finally we'll cover the timeline, when you can actually expect to see these changes happen. So, the New York State Education Department has officially approved this really comprehensive plan they're calling NY Inspires. Now, this isn't just a recommendation or an idea floating around. It's a greenlit initiative that is really setting in motion a seismic shift in public education. And what's really interesting here is that this wasn't some sudden decision. The groundwork for this was laid way back in 2019. It led to years of research and recommendations. So this NY Inspires plan, it's really the culmination of all that work. Okay, so why? Why make such a massive change? Well, at its core, the state wants to create a more equitable, more relevant education system, one that really redefines what it means for a student to be ready for the future. And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. We're moving away from a system where your success was pretty much measured by how well you did on 5 specific high-stakes exams. The new model, on the other hand, is designed to value a much broader set of skills and give students more flexible, more creative ways to show what they know. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. The goal is to better prepare students for the realities of the 21st century, for college, for all kinds of career paths, and for just being an active part of society. The belief is that the old model, well, it was falling short of that mission. All right, let's move into the plan itself and see how it builds towards this new educational model. NY Inspires is structured around 4 key pillars, 4 big transformations that all have to work together to change the system. So here are the 4 big moves. First, they're defining the ideal graduate. Then, they're completely rethinking how learning gets credited. After that, they're officially ending the Regents exam mandate for graduation. That's the big one. And finally, they're streamlining the whole diploma system. Let's start with that first one. So at the very center of this whole transformation is this new ideal, this sort of guiding star for the entire system. It's called the Portrait of a Graduate. And this isn't just some vague mission statement. It's a really detailed framework of skills and attributes. This graphic here is basically the roadmap. It lays out the key attributes the state wants to nurture in every single student, from elementary school all the way up to graduation. So let's zoom in a bit and see what those core competencies actually are. First up, being a critical thinker. This is about teaching students not just what to think, but how to think. It's about giving them the tools to analyze complex issues, like figuring out what's real and what's not on social media, and to approach problems with a thoughtful, evidence-based mindset. Next, the plan really emphasizes preparing students to be engaged, responsible members of our interconnected world. And that means understanding different cultures, acting ethically online, and using their knowledge to make a positive impact right in their own communities. This competency goes way beyond just writing essays. It's about developing the ability to get your ideas across clearly and persuasively, no matter the platform. Whether that's giving a presentation, collaborating on a team project, or even creating a compelling video for a class. And finally, this is all about fostering adaptability. Because in a world that changes so fast, the ability to think outside the box, to embrace curiosity, and to develop new solutions to unexpected problems, well, that's an absolutely essential skill for success. So, when you put it all together, the idea is that these attributes aren't isolated. They all combine to prepare a well-rounded individual, what the state is calling the whole graduate, who is ready for whatever path they choose after high school. This all sounds like a big, ambitious vision for the future, right? But the big question on everyone's mind is probably when. When does this actually happen? When will students and teachers start to see these changes in the classroom? Well, the changes are going to be phased in gradually to give schools time to adapt. Phase 1 is happening right now. That's all about developing the detailed guidelines. But the key date for students and families is in Phase 2, starting in the fall of 2027. That's when the Regents exam will no longer be required to graduate.
So, as we wrap up, the biggest takeaway here is this. The change is more than just policy, it's philosophical. The focus is shifting from memorization and test taking to the practical application of knowledge, what students can actually do with what they've learned.
It is a bold, fascinating experiment in education, one that will definitely be watched closely all across the country. And it really leaves us with a powerful question about the future of learning itself. Thanks for joining us for The Explainer.